Alright. 3.
I don't like regular chicks, bro.
2.
I know.
1. Introduction.
Yo, my name is Lex. Y'all might see my name around because of all the shit I be making, but you know, I represent Music and Strength. EMG is the camp. That's my team. Also represent major artists. You know, my boy G Major out there in LA holding it down. But I'm all around the world, you know, make it happen.
Now, how did you get your name, first of all?
My name, I actually got it due to my boy Cello. Cello and I, a lot of us are part of a team called Team Beats. We used to play basketball, we used to drink beer throughout the games, and regarding that, like, we used to hang out and just hang, you know, have fun or whatever. But I've always been Alex, and then my boy Cello just all of a sudden starts calling me Lex, and everybody just like seemed to gravitate towards that. So, and I thought, like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just use it. You know, Lex is bigger than Alex, and it's pretty dope. I like it a lot. So, and so far, like, Lex is, I mean, I use that on a day-to-day basis, and I like that better. So thank you, Cello, you know, letting me use that and taking it to another level.
Now, explain to me your family's musical background. What was the stuff your folks were listening to growing up, and what they still listen to?
You know, I'm Mexican background, so you know, I used to listen to a whole bunch of, you know, banda and corridos and stuff like that. But you know, most of all was like my dad was into like Leodan, like old school stuff. Then Antonio Aguilar, we're from Zacatecas, so everybody from Zacatecas, you know what's up. We all know Antonio Aguilar because he, you know, represents us. But then, you know, from there, you know, you go into different other shit, because, you know, music is music, music is universal, music is powerful when it comes to like soul music and other stuff. But mostly it was Spanish music because of my Mexican background.
Word, that's cool. Now, I want to talk about, or I want to let you talk about the origins of your music. What was the beginning of Lex?
Beginning of Lex. You know what? It's funny. You know, I was born in the '80s, raised in the '90s. So you know, we all grew up on that Biggie, the Nas, the Wu-Tang, and everything. So, but before all that, you know what I mean, I used to make my own mixtapes, like buy my 99-cent tape out of the 99-cent store, and I used to make my own mixtapes, and I used to record like Billy Boyz II Men, Michael Jackson, PM Dawn, I mean, all this other stuff that we used to do, listen to back in when power was what it was back then. I used to make my own mixtapes, and from there it actually built to what I am now because of the soul. Like, I really represent, to me, it's more about the soul. Like, it's taken me to a different level, and I think music-wise, the way it is now to then, like, I'm so grateful to be actually growing up in that era. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a lot better.
That's dope, man. Well, what's on your playlist nowadays?
Playlist? It's crazy because when it comes to music, like now, like I can have left side or right side, as in like I can listen to, for example, Chrisette Michele, dope ass R&B artist, to Tyga, who's like the club banging type stuff, you know, where people like to dance and stuff, whatever, in LA, to 60s music, to the Beach Boys, to fucking Stevie Wonder, Al Green, because Al Green, you know, I have kids, so my baby mama's family, they're related to Al Green, so it's like, you know, I'm Mexican too. We listen to a lot of oldies when it comes to like, you know, Temptations, you know, Motown music, you know, you name it. I listen to all that. So it's just that it's a big inspiration. Everything. I mean, I listen to everything on my playlist. From what else do I got on there? I got just thinking about it right now. I got Kid Ink. That's crazy. Like, a lot of people not, you know, when it comes to making music or whatever, they kind of like just listen. You know, I listen to one type of genre, like underground or radio. Like, I listen to everything. just because music, and I am music, so everything I listen to is inspiration to me to make beats and stuff like that. Keep on moving forward, pretty much.
Yeah, man, it's always good for a musician to listen to different genres and experience different worlds.
And it's true, because like if you pigeonhole yourself into one genre or one thing in music, you're not really being a musician. As a musician, you gotta expand, you gotta grow, you gotta let your wings, you gotta fly. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta be ear open, like for example, Dilla. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my biggest producers I look up to. Dilla, Tim, Alchemist, to even, you can say, Drummer Boy in the down south. I listen to a lot of the new cats, Cardiac. I listen to a lot of people, but like musically, you can, and when it comes to beat production, you can actually see and hear where their influences are from, and that's what it's what amazing about music is that you can. Doesn't matter where you came from, like what you make now. It's like you can see the influence, you can see the soul music. That's what I'm behind about soul. Soul is what takes you there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like my biggest producer of all time is Timbaland. Tim is a game changer.
You got a lot of soul.
You got a lot of soul. And I try to kind of build myself around that, where the music I make now can take you to the future. You know what I'm saying? And it's trippy because there's a lot of stuff that I've made that a couple of years ago would be like, it's kind of iffy about it. But if I play the same instrumentals now, it's like they're more like, oh, I can feel that. So I know that I'm ahead of what I'm doing, and that's the reason why I look up to Tim, because he's ahead of his game, pretty much.
Now, speaking of doing music, do you rather submit beats or be with the artist during the session?
I'd rather be in the session. Reason why? Big thing is that as being in the session, you kind of can direct where the music is going. You can direct where the track is going. Submitting the beat, you're just leaving it up to the artist to take it where they want to take it. Not saying that that's the right way to do it, but if two heads are better than one, you can both put input, like where it needs to go, what sounds better, and then if you're in the studio, overall, being in the studio is like the most powerful experience ever, because it's your music you're creating something from scratch, you're building it, you're making a hook, you're making a verse, you're building the whole track, and doing that, you're so excited because you want people to hear what you're doing. So as an artist and as a producer, both being in the same place, I think the outcome is a lot better than just submitting a track. Yes, I have done that, which I'm not going to lie about, where I've submitted beats and people are using it and recording it, putting it all over the internet. But overall, I'd rather be in the session.
Now, I noticed that I didn't mention this earlier, but let's talk about the crews you rep and your affiliates.
Crews. Well, of course, I represent EMG. EMG, that's Esquivel Music Group. My name is Lexesquivel, so I, represent that, of course. That's my team. I also represent Music and Strength. Music and Strength is a LA team. They have a big chapter. I also represent major artists. Individually, they're all good camps, even stemming from my camp, but they all have really good artists, they all have really good producers, and I personally, this is the reason why I mess with them, is because I know that we can take it further than what the music is at right now. So, but I represent EMG, Music and Strength, major artists. Those are the main three that I represent right now.
Cool. So let's step aside from music. Are you into sports? And if you are, what are you into?
Sports-wise, I'm into like basketball. I watch, as soon as I get home, you gotta pop in that ESPN, you gotta watch your highlights. But I played ball all my life, so, most of my life, so that's the reason why it's in my, it's in me. I gotta watch the basketball. College games, March Madness, we in Feb right now, with the end of February, so, beginning next month, it's gonna be crazy. NCAA, March Madness. Also the NBA, the All-Star weekend that just passed by, it's all, big stuff. So basketball is my thing. I do watch football from time to time, but basketball is the one that takes over everything else.
Now, basketball, why'd you stop?
Basketball, I stopped because of personal injuries that I, put upon myself while being, young and dumb, playing football in the field, like, at the park, playing tackle football, messing up your knee, messing up your ankles. I took it there, but, as a young kid, you're always out there and about thinking you're, Mr. Indestructible, when you're playing everything you can play. But most of the reason is because of that, but also at the time, I knew, like, I'm not going to grow past 6 feet. I'd rather get a job, make some money, make it happen, flipping, because, I was making music at the time too, so, you got to put money into what you need to, what you believe in, and also, bills, of course, you got to help out the family, whatever, but it was basically because you need to grow up a little bit, I thought about being an adult and, creating money for myself.
I dig that, man. Now, still, relating to basketball, which NBA legend would you love to play a one-on-one game with? And who you think you can actually take?
Oh, man. You crazy.
You gotta answer that. Someone who you think you can take. Someone who you think you can take, but is a legend.
Oh, man, I can't take no.
I'm
being honest, I can't take no.
All right,
legend-wise that I used to look up to, and it's funny because, at the time, what was it? United Artists was the cable company. Even that, we moved on to whatever, but we had WGN in fucking LA, which means we were watching Chicago games in fucking LA. I used to watch Jordan all the time, like playoffs-wise, championship-wise, TNT, TBS, like, I used to watch all that stuff. So Michael Jordan is the player I love to watch just because of the outcome in general of, like, they could be down by like 10 and like fourth quarter comes in, they're up by 15. Like it's bananas. Like, I mean, I was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, so Jordan is the person I look up to the most. Pippen, but I can never play one-on-one with him, man. Like, I can't do that. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna shoot a 3 and they're gonna swat the shit out of me. Like, I can't even drive it. I can't even drive it in. They're gonna block me. Like, Jordan's gonna steal me. I can't even get in, bro. Like, I can't even do that. But player-wise, this is what I'm gonna say. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. Top 3. I can't, like, yeah, we can go on and on about LeBron and now, yeah, I love LeBron, he's dope, whatever, but at that time, when I was growing up, Jordan, Magic, and Bird.
Alright, for sure. Now, back to music.
Yes, sir.
What took you so long to get noticed?
That's a good question. Reason why. I've been making music since I was 16. Not going to disclose my age. Well, yeah, I might as well.
Yeah, why not? Hey, don't be ashamed. Embrace that.
I'm 30. I'm not that old. I'm still making it happen. But I've been making music since I was 16. So, just to put it that way, is the reason I slowed down. Not that I stopped making music. I slowed completely down. Had the family, got the married life. You know how you gotta go. You gotta slow down. You gotta make sure everything's right. But I knew throughout that time I still made music. Not as frequent as I'm doing now. I didn't make the connections that I'm making now. But I still made music. And then the good thing about that is that I was building my catalog. And when I was building my catalog, now I can. Here you go, I make all this. And the funny thing is I've always thought I was ahead of my time. So now that people are recognizing the shit that I'm making and people want to get on the shit that I'm making, it makes me feel even better because I knew that whatever I was doing throughout that time that I was slowing down and people weren't hearing about me, that it was gonna pretty much work out the way that I wanted it to be. Because now everybody can hear what I'm doing and they actually like what I'm doing. So it did take a long time, but you know what? Patience is something that you need to learn in this game. A lot of people are one day to another trying to get into the game and thinking that it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen if you do it that way. You gotta be patient. Patience is a long way, man. You gotta keep that in you. You gotta keep it pushing forward, man. Because once you give up, you give up. Look at me. Just look at me, dude. That's it.
As they say, patience is a virtue.
Yes, sir.
Patience is definitely a virtue.
Yes.
Now to wrap this up, who are your sponsors and do you want a sponsorship?
Sponsors. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I do represent Smithereens. It's an actual T-shirt line that I know, not this shirt, but Smithereens is a T-shirt line that I know that they always hook it up. They always send me some stuff. My boy, and also Golden Legends. Golden Legends is another clothing line. Artistic Creation is also blowing up right now. I know my boy Vel Underwood. He used to work with me with Sprint. His boys, one of the creators of actually Artistic Creation. So they're actually blowing up. They're doing big things. But when it comes to the clothing lines, that's the ones that if they send me some stuff, as in like they always send me some stuff, so always rock it, so always represent them.
Now, real quick, what do you look for in a sponsorship?
Sponsorship wise, is just keep me with the exclusive stuff. Reason why is because if you want people to actually gravitate towards your actual clothing line or whatever you're doing, they gotta see it somehow. If I'm always on the camera, if you always see my name, and you see me rocking it, people are gonna want to see, where you get that from. And I've actually worn some Smithereen T-shirts, and people are like, yo, where'd you get that from? And I can be like, yo, a boy, from Smithereens, he made this shirt, he made it happen, and then that's when they, move it. But when it comes to that, besides that, just keep me on the exclusive. I'm not really that straight. Just keep me going in the exclusive stuff. Music and Strength, the team that believed in me and pushed me to where I am today, and that's gonna keep pushing me forward. Black Heat, Casper, Weapon X, King as a producer. Stuff is bananas. Big shout out to my people in Major Artists, of course G Major, my boy Pro the Madman out there in Lancaster holding it down. Smithereens, Golden Legends, my kids. It's a big shout out to my kids. It's my inspiration, make me move forward. Without my kids, they're a big thing in what I'm doing, and I want to make sure that they're okay. Of course, EMG, and this is where I'm gonna name the roster. EMG the roster. There's a lot of things that not a lot of things, but this is people in the EMG that you'd be surprised. It's a big announcement right now. As a production, you guys see myself, Lexesquivel. As a producer, I got my boy Jay Beasley, Jamon Beasley, Jay Beasley on the beats. My primo, which we call primo, Nestor. Also, Jay Reed was just recently added to the production team. So that's the four, horsemen when it comes to the beats. Engineer-wise, we got my boy Paul Reasonable out. He's got the engineer. I want to give a big shout out to Marcos Anaya with out there with Casper's Camp. As in rappers, you got my I&Me. You got Casper, you got Grim, you got Tank White, who's representing the Midwest, and also a new addition to the EMG camp. You got my boy Johnny Rhymes on there. So, I always represent EMG to the fullest just because it's something that I've always dreamed about. Building a team, building a core of people that are hungry and are willing to, push it to the limit. We're not the type of people to make stuff that, we make stuff that people like, but it's just we like to push it to the limit. Just the reason why is because we are way ahead of our time. And then, my family, I always give a big up to my family. They've always represented me from Texas, Arizona to Mexico to, of course, California, northern and southern. Who you are. But besides that, it's family is what makes it happen. And EMG, Major Artists, Music and Strength, Esquivel, it's who I hold in my life, you know, the dearest. Like without them, I wouldn't be who I am today.
There you have it, folks. ARNP management with Lex Esquivel of EMG.
There you go.
Bang!
Bang.
Production.